I've been doing in my garden here. Quick zip through some of the things we've seen, see if there's anything of interest. I've already gone through the track, so I'll be fairly quick, just have a quick scan through a few things, see what there is to see, and then we'll start. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And there's the trap. This is, I've shown this on here before, but very briefly, this is a box with a light bulb on top. Overnight that light was on. That light attracts a variety of moths. They come in, they fly in the box, they sit on these various egg boxes which are inside, so I can have a look at them in the morning. And we'll have a quick look at some of the ones we've got. And see what there is to see. So they're sitting on the cross beam. This is a light brown apple moth. Hello David, welcome to the broadcast. I guess it's probably fairly late for you out there. Are you just up late, or are you out looking at the stars? Anyway, this is a light brown apple moth, a fairly common species these days. Not a native British species, but one that's arrived. Oh, not too late. Excellent. Not a native British species, this one. But it's an Eclipse of Moss, yes. Eclipse is the collective noun for a large number of moths, as David discovered for me a little while back. Anyway, light brown apple moth. Let's see what else there is to see in here. There's a couple on here. More non-native species here. So this is a box moth. Species of pest on box trees. And actually there will be 3 of these, and they're going to be slightly different. So we'll start actually with, we'll move to this one first. And this is the typical form of it. See that it's white, it's a white centre with this dark, with this brown border. Yeah, box moth, that's it, David. I'll not do the scientific names today because I can never remember them when I'm out in the field. But this is the typical form of box moth. And then there is another form of it, rather a similar one, but you see it's got this extra brown stripe through the middle of the white. And then the third form of it, which I think is quite a striking form, essentially is pretty much all dark apart from these little white ticks on the wing. It's like purplish sheen to it. I'm not sure how well that comes across on the screen, but very attractive creatures. Well, you know, really rather attractive moth. But this is arrived in Britain not that long ago as a non-native species, accidentally introduced with the horticultural trade, and causing a lot of problems for the ornamental box hedges. What else have I got to show you? There's not vast numbers today. It's starting to get a bit autumnal and a bit cooler in the evenings, but there are still things about. One of the ubiquitous moths. Oops, so we get to focus. Doesn't really want to focus on the insect here. And I am doing this handheld, which is not ideal with the camera, but never mind. So this is a square spot rustic. One of the commonest creatures of this species, of this season, and actually pretty variable in colour and form, but with these fairly distinctive shapes of the spots. The moth here, dark moth, there's a dead something in there as well, but the moth here with the dark triangular moth with the large and obvious proboscis sticking out the front goes by the name of the snout, after that nose it's got. Although frequently those palps that form that that snout at the front can break off, and you can have snoutless snouts. But this is the snout. Frequently kick these up by day when I'm walking through slightly scrubby habitat as well. So pretty common, again, but rather attractive, and that distinctive sort of nose feature and size makes it easy enough to identify. Right, what else have I got? So in here, I've shown one of these on the broadcast before. Oops. Is a cetaceous Hebrew character. So it's called the Hebrew character bit is because it's thought that that black mark on the wings looks like one of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Cetaceous meaning hairy, I think refers to the caterpillars. But the cetaceous Hebrew character. So there's one or two others. Let me see what else there is to see. Let's quickly go to what I've retained. No, I'll do one of them somewhere else. Getting towards the end of the things that haven't flown away. Some of these did escape, of course, when I was going through the trap. Okay, what was I writing? So, in here, rather dark, is a large yellow underwing. If this behaves, you might briefly be able to see the yellow underwing. Less yellow underwing, in fact. You can briefly see that it's got a yellow hind wing. And that's thought to be one of a couple of things that it could be that it's doing. It could be startle protective colouring. So it could be that doesn't want to focus on the moth, does it? Let's do that then. It could be that yellow underwing is protective colouring that startles birds and things that see it. It sort of flashes bright yellow and shocks them. Yep, yellow underwings. Or it could be that the idea is that yellow colour means that when it's flying along, it looks bright and yellow. Something that's trying to hunt it then is looking for a bright yellow thing, and it drops to the ground, folds up like this, and looks dull. So let that go. And then one more, well, there's two of these. These are in pots, unfortunately, so this could be interesting. Sorry for the slight distortion as we look through the glass. But that, I think, and this is a species I've not seen, or I've seen once before in somebody else's trap. But that, with its white, I'll see if I can open this without it escaping. If there's any sense of it going to fly away, I'm going to be careful, because this has that mark, white mark on the wing with a sort of L shape to it, a bit of an L shape to it. And I think that is L. album wainscot. I'll put that back in the pot because I don't want that to get away. And that's a species that I've not seen before in my garden. I've only seen once before on the south coast and was regarded as a very rare. That L. album wainscot is probably about 15mm long, I would guess. There's another one of them. And this is regarded as a pretty rare species and really only occurring off the south coast of Britain as an immigrant. It has been expanding its range recently, so I suspect, particularly given I found two of them last night, it may well be, assuming I'm not making some stupid ID mistake, it may well be that these are starting to colonise this area. But that's the most interesting thing I found. It's a rather attractive moth. I will make sure I share a picture of that with someone who knows what they're doing, just confirm that I've not made a silly ID mistake where I'm half asleep in the morning, but hopefully not. Anyway, I'm going to drop off the broadcast there because I've got to pack all this away and then I've got to go into work this morning. But I hope that was interesting, this broadcast, and speak soon.